Hi everyone, welcome to my pool plan video, and in this video I'll be covering the second half of November 2020 for DFFOO global version. And in this second half I'll be covering specifically Kuja's arc, which you can see on the infographic on the left hand side, and it spans over 3 different events. First being Bahamut Ultimate Summon raid, second being Gao's Lost Chapter, and the third being the debut of Gladiolus event. And quick disclaimers, the purpose and objective of this video is really just to share my pool plans and very brief rationale on my decisions. It's meant for informative purposes only, and it's meant to be a brief video without going into too much depth for each character. Of course, it's by no means the optimal pooling strat, because I'm a firm believer that there is no one strategy forward in this game. In fact, there are many factors that should always be considered when one decides to pool, and this can include your current resources in gems and tickets, who you currently have in your current roster, and which roles do you need to fulfill in your team. And of course, which content you currently need to clear, and last but certainly not least, who your favorites are. Personally, my plan is heavily influenced by clearing the Chaos Challenge quest in each event, so therefore I always try to at least pool if I do not have enough synergy characters to complete the Chaos Challenge. As for me, in terms of endgame content, I've cleared all endgame content up to date, so I'm not in any urgent need to quickly fill in any specific team members in my roster, but rather I'm pulling to fulfill certain requirements and prepare for future upcoming content. So coming to the first event, which is the Ultimate Bahamut Summon raid, and as always in these sort of events there are 2 banners, and the featured character this time is Kuja, with the release of both his LD and burst weapons. Now, I feel Kuja is a great unit to pull on. Not only is he a strong DPS character, but beyond that, his LD brings a significant change to his kit. I will not go into too much depth here, because there are already other resources and video that you can look at to see more on what Kuja can do upon his rework and his LD release. But in short, his LD is a 7 times Brave and HP dump, and in between each of those 7 Brave and HP attacks, he also gets a Brave refund, so you can imagine how ridiculously damaging his LD attack is. In fact, I've heard reports that just with his LD he can one-shot Ifrit in the Ifrit challenge quest, the Ifrit summon boards. So Kuja, I feel, is worth it just purely for the fact that he makes summon board grinding very easy. Just put him in with whoever you want to grind their summon board points with, and he can complete summon board fights very quickly, which also optimizes the use of your ×2 or ×3 tomes. So there are 2 banners here that you can pull his LD and burst weapon. The first banner features Garnet, Kuja, and Lulu's EX as well. And I think between the 2 banners, this is the better banner. Of course, especially if you do not have Kuja's EX yet. I feel, and the main reason for this is that I think Garnet is also a secondary prize in this event. She is still quite relevant, and considering also the next 2 dimensions end tier, which is tier 17 and 18, features range and magic resistant enemies, Garnet helps your entire party bypass this resistance, because she can imperil and enchant water and lightning elements respectively. The second banner is still quite decent because it also features Porum, and Porum has a very notable HP reduction mechanic, very similar to how Bash works, except that she can provide this buff to the entire party through her EX. So for me personally, I'll be using tickets because I already have Kuja at full 3-3. So I really only need his LD weapon from either of these two banners. And I will be actually pulling on the banner featuring Rydia, Porum, and Papalimo. And the only reason for that is I already have both Garnet and Lulu fully maxed out at 3-3. So there's nothing else I want from the banner with Garnet and Lulu on. Whereas on the other banner, I actually do not have Papalimo's EX yet. So if I manage to draw Papalimo's EX, it's a good consolation prize for me. But essentially, I'll be going tickets all the way until I get Kuja's LD. As always, I will not chase after his burst weapon. I in fact do not chase after anyone's burst weapon. I always treat burst weapon as sort of like a bonus and icing on top of the cake. If I get his burst weapon on any of these banners or any of the upcoming banners, then it's great, of course. But if I don't, then I'll just leave with his LD. Moving on, the next event after that will be Gao's Lost Chapter. And in Gao's Lost Chapter, there are going to be 4 synergy units: Kuja, Gao, Terra, and Selfie. Now for this banner, I find it's not a very fantastic banner, mainly only because Selfie and Terra at this point are a little bit outdated. They can still put in some work, and Selfie is also notable because her aura EX, her aura buff from her EX is very unique. However, there are many other units that at this point in time outperform both Terra and Selfie in their roles. Gao himself isn't bad. He is quite notable being a good counter-attacker and having the earth element in his attacks, which at this point in the game there aren't many characters with the earth element. That being said, my pull plan for this banner really depends on how I do on Kuja's banners before. So if I get lucky with Kuja and I manage to net his LD weapon within about 150 tickets or so, then I will throw tickets on this banner to try to score Gao's EX and LD. I skipped Gao's banner the first time round. And the main reason for that is so that I can at least use Gao in his Chaos Challenge quest and probably even the Lufenia fight in this event. That being said, if I was very unlucky in Kuja's banner and if I have to spend way more than 150 tickets to score Kuja's LD, in that scenario, I will probably just skip Gao's banner completely. I have already Terra and Selfie's EX, and I think I can get by the Chaos Challenge with Kuja, Terra, and Selfie. And for the Lufenia quest, because there aren't any restrictions on which characters you can bring, I'm quite confident I can find a team composition that will complete Lufenia without the use of Gao. So to me, Gao is a character that I like, and I think he is actually quite strong, but resources as it is, he is, in my view, a luxury that I can skip if I really have to and if I get unlucky in Kuja's banner. The third event in this arc is the release of Gladiolus along with his LD weapon. Now in this second half of the month, by far I think the best character that you should aim for of these 3 events will be Gladiolus. He remains top tier a long time after his release, and he is even used in the JP version of the game up till today, which is 8 months after his release. He is a very formidable tank, and tanks being very precious in this game because they come in very limited quantities, I feel Gladiolus is a great character to chase in the second half of November. And in this event, there will be 5 synergy characters because Gladiolus event comes after Gao's Lost Chapter. So Kuja and Gao will come back as synergy characters in this event. And on the banner, you also have Gladiolus, Sabine, and Vayne as synergy characters. For me, as I said, I view Gladiolus as a great character to go for. He will also be very valuable in upcoming content in many months to come. So on this event, I will likely be going gems, straight gems for Gladiolus. Unless, of course, if for some reason I get very lucky with Kuja and Gao and get their LD with very few tickets, which I highly doubt. If I have a lot of tickets, then I'll start throwing some tickets first before gems. But if my luck is average or bad in the previous banners, I'll just go straight gems for Gladiolus, and I will PT his LD if I have to, because I feel that he is really worth it. So that's it for this video. I'm trying to keep it as short as possible. In summary, across the 3 banners, I will plan to throw tickets for Kuja's LD, tickets for Gao, EX and LD only if I get very lucky on Kuja, and I define that by only spending less than 150 tickets to get his LD. Otherwise, I will just skip Gao altogether, and I will use straight gems for Gladiolus to get his entire kit. In terms of priorities, I feel if your resources are limited, my personal opinion, and really I cannot stress that enough, that this is really just my personal opinion, that in terms of priority, I feel Gladiolus is the most worth it in terms of value for gems. Kuja comes second, because Kuja, not only is he a great DPS, but he is also at this point in time probably the best unit for summon board grinding, and helping you save time summon board grinding. I think is a great value for your resources as well, and therefore Gao comes as a third priority. Not to say anything bad about Gao, really I strongly believe he is actually a decent character, but he just doesn't offer, in my opinion, as much as both Gladiolus and Kuja at this point of the game. That's it for this video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe button, or leave a comment sharing what your opinion and pool plan is. Till then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.